The first thing, if you want to really be a successful person, is your devotional life. Your life with God. Okay? So what's the first D? I can't hear it. What's the first D? What's the meaning of devotion? What's the meaning of devotion? When you are devoted to something, your commitment to something. If I'm going to succeed, there are things I must do how? Every day. So God is always recruiting servants. And where God knows his servants from is from devotion. You remember people came to Jesus. For you that have heard sermons or you've read the Bible, they came to Jesus and said, oh, I know you. He says, get behind me, I know you not. Did you hear that? Bible says, your Father that sees you in secret will reward you. So if you don't build a relationship with God, you don't get the best from God. Okay? So, what's the first thing in your life? Your devotion. Your devotion to God. Number 2, your devotion to your personal development. So every day, you must increase in building yourself up. Number 3, your devotion to serving other people. Why? Serving other people is where you get your money from. Where do you get money from? From serving other people. Why does Coca-Cola have money? Because they give you drinks every time. They are serving you. Why does Hungry Lion have money? They are serving you. They are not selling chicken. They are helping you kill your hunger, isn't it? And they use chicken. But what they are doing is making sure you are not hungry. When you give them money, what are you saying to them? Thank you. So who gets money? The one solving somebody's problem. Who does not get money? The one not solving. Does the person not solving people's problem have money? Yes. But they always give it out to people that are serving them. So who makes more money? The servant. You see, you have looked at servant to mean garden boy. But Coca-Cola is your servant. Hakainde Ichilima is your what? Why do you think he's driving the big car with escort? He's serving 18 million people. How many Zambians do they give police escort? Fly, plane. He's not flying the plane because he's Hakainde. He's flying the plane because he's the #1 servant in Zambia. That's what leadership is. A leader is a what? A servant. Not a title holder, a servant. And have you seen the lion? You know the lion, the one with big hair? Why do you think that lion eats the big food? Why do they call him the king? Why? Who fights, who can catch food more? The male lion or the female lion?
Female.
Why? So you are built for purpose. Why? Because they go in packs, that's #1, yes? It catches food, not just for the kids, it catches food for the whole pack. You understand? For the pride. Thank you. What else? It's very devoted to. Why is he devoted to the husband? Some of us don't understand why they are devoted to this husband, this male king of the jungle. Why? Yeah? Because you see, if somebody is going to die, who dies first? So they are feeding him, so when it's time to fight, they're not feeding that male lion because he's male. No. They are feeding that male lion because he's the one that will lay his life down when the enemy comes. Do you understand? The female lion is a better hunter because she can hide. You will never see her. But the male lion, if he hides, you can see the foliage, the hair around, isn't it? Why is that hair there? Another reason why the male lion can't hunt like the female lion, that hair makes it sweat. It makes it hot, very hot. So it cannot run for long distances like the female lion. Do you understand? And that thing makes everybody see it. But that thing is around his neck so that it's like protection. If you bite, if you this, because of the hair, is more protected. So you see, it is built for its purpose. The female lion is built for what? Her purpose. But they allow that one lion to say you are the king, not because you are better, but because when you are coming to protect us, who will die first? So Jesus said the greatest of you will be the what? The servant of all. So what's the road to greatness? Serving people. You want to be great? What do you become? A servant. So who is the president? Who is a policeman? Who is a businessman? Serving. You are wearing clothes now. Did you get the clothes for free? They paid for it. That person left their family, left their job. They went to look for clothes, brought it all the way, then brought it to you. When you give them money, what are you saying? Thank you for leaving everything to make sure How do you think you are going to say thank you to me? Because you are going to serve Zambians. And so when you succeed, when more Zambians are being led right, served right, then I've done my job, isn't it? Then God has done his job too, because through you, he's going to reach that 22, 23 million people. That's why you are very important. But if they prepare you to be a servant, what they're preparing you actually to be is rich. Do you get it? Why is Google so rich? They're reaching over 2, 3, 4 billion people every day. So who do you think gets the money? Google. You get it? Good. So your devotion is important. Devotion to number 1, God. Devotion to number 2, improving yourself. Number 3, devotion to serving people. That's a do. You must do that every day. How? So every day you must talk to God. Every day you must talk to who else? You must talk to who? You must build yourself. Talk to yourself. Remind yourself, I am a leader. I am this. I am. Every day you build yourself. Number 2 thing you want to do after your devotion, take your devotion to God. Your devotion will lead. You remember David said, you have a purpose. Everybody was made for a purpose. Did this marker just jump from the earth to from the heaven down? Where did it come from? Somebody's mind. Why? You were using blackboard chalk, isn't it? How many of you saw chalks when they were writing on the board? Yeah? You saw how messy all that? Then somebody thought, we can do it better. Those days they used to call it blackboard. Now we call it what? Whiteboard. Why? Somebody's mind. Isn't it? So your devotion, so if I want to know the reason they made this thing, who should I ask? The person that made it, isn't it? So your devotion will lead you to number 2, discoveries. You start getting your vision. You see, they follow. If you don't spend time with God, you won't know who you are. If you are not devoted to a business, you are not devoted to computers, you are not devoted to branding, anything you don't spend your time devoted to, you will never become every time you spend your time on something, you become an expert in that thing. So your devotion builds your expertise. It builds your brand. It builds your all that. And you begin to discover ways of doing it quicker, faster, better. So without devotion, there's no what? No discovery. If you never start to drive, will you learn things about driving? The more you drive, the more you learn something new, learn something new, learn something new. So why do you think people end up being nothing? Because they are not dedicated or devoted to anything. They don't know anything. They don't want anything because they've never tried it. Okay? We're going to break this down one by one by one. We'll take each one as we go along. Today I'm just introducing you, want you to go home early. What does devotion do? You discover who you are. God starts to talk to you, start to show you. You start to discover, oh, I want to be this, I want to be this. So what will that lead you to? Number 3, you start to get your desires. The greatest force for any success is desire. Once there's no desire, you will never succeed. If there's no desire for something, you won't do it. You see, a lot of people have no desire to be successful. They just have a desire to play. They just want to play. Devotion leads to what? Discoveries. Discoveries will lead to what? Desire. Your desire. Elon Musk, from the beginning, he wanted to make a difference. You should go and study his beginning. You know he's from South Africa. And his desire, look at him, he's running the biggest thing, Tesla. Space is doing all those things, isn't it? Where did all that come from? Where did it come from? His desire. What is the greatest force anybody has to make them succeed? Their desire. Without desire. So every day, you must feed that desire and move in the direction of that desire. What does your desire do? It begins to bring you to the place where you start to design your life. Okay? So, desire will lead to what? Design. So you have to start planning, setting goals. We'll teach you about that. Design. Do you have a vision for your life? Have you sat down to think about it? You are how old now? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. When you are 22, where will you be doing? What will you be doing? Where will you be? You see, if you don't live by design, you will live by default. That means you'll be like every other boy. So is it that design or default? Default means, you know how you buy a phone. There's default setting, isn't it? You'll be the same ringtone as everybody. But when you design your phone, even though everybody has it, yours is special. Because you've designed it the way you want. This ringtone the way you want. The color, the page, whatever it is. You've designed it to be yours, isn't it? So every one of you, he told you from 0 to something, you're this morning, afternoon, evening, night of your life, isn't it? There are actually 4 stages. David is leaving the last one out for you. So morning is your 0 to 18, 0 to 21 when you finish school, correct? Hopefully university. From there to about 35, 40, that's the afternoon of your life, okay? From 35, let's say 35, to about 55, retirement age, that's the evening of your life. Then there's the retirement after you've passed 65, 55. That's the what? Night. Even if you try to run like Usain Bolt, you can't run. You are old now, isn't it? So if you don't prepare your life now, design your life. It's not when you are 65 you plan for 65. It's now you start planning. This is when you start planning for your evening and your night. Why are people failing and poor? They don't see the future, so they enjoy now. No design. When do you start designing your life? This is when you choose. Do I need to read biology? Do I need to read physics? Do I need to read math? Do I need to do literature? Am I going as a lawyer? Am I going as a doctor? Am I going as a software engineer? Am I going as a something biologist? They have crazy courses. Your courses now, my age, we don't even know them. They were not teaching a lot of things in my time. At my time, we didn't have computer like you guys have computer. To see a computer was like you are going to a museum. You have to go and see, oh, is this it? Whoa, we didn't know. There was nothing like cell phone. There was nothing like that. If you had a cell phone, you were a millionaire. You were a rich, really rich person. And they were very big and very heavy. I'm telling you. Now, all of you can just slip a cell phone in your pocket. So you guys have advanced. Do you understand? But all that came by design. People design their lives. Are you too young to do that? No.